On this episode of Flying Sparks Garage, we build some stellar new stringers for Stellar Views, our cabin cruiser.
We also build a header here for the tank, and we find some more rot. And I cut it out and I fix it.
Heck yeah.
Because that's what I do.
Dang right. Let's get to work. Well, Happy New Year. It's 2025. Holy moly. We are back at it here in Flying Sparks Garage. We've got our stringers all cured and glued together with perfection, actually. We're really happy with the way it looks, right?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. This stuff got hard. Took a little longer than I expected it to, but it was pretty cold and the heater went out in the shop, so we have to get that fixed. But I read the comments. The comments said you need a beam saw. Went online. Yeah, they're like 3,000 bucks. But they do make a beam saw attachment to a circular saw. So I bought one, didn't fit my circular saw, so I bought a new circular saw.
He started with an old saw that we had and it was just not gonna fit. So we just got back from Lowe's and bought this guy.
Yep, the old saw came from Walmart probably 20 years ago. This one was 89 bucks, it's a cheap one. Didn't spend a lot of money because I've got a battery powered DeWalt that I actually like. So this from now on is our beam saw. And what this should do is cut as a straight line, which we need. So this should allow us to cut perfectly straight line because it's a chainsaw blade. It's gonna be a little bit of a rough cut. We don't care, it's all getting glassed in. But what I needed was the ability to make this angle. So with this, we can get that angle that it needs to be to fit the hull of the boat. So do I think this is like precision exact? No, but it's a boat. It's all gonna be fiberglassed in. We're not doing machine work here. So I think this is gonna work. I'm excited about it. And actually we gotta rebuild the deck at the lake house. So this is gonna be great for cutting 4x4s and 4x8s and bigger timber. But for now, it's the day after New Year's and I say we get to work. Start this day off right. Whoa. Oh, it smells good.
It's like satisfying, like breaking ice.
Yeah. This would have been glued to the table without the plastic. That appears to be the angle. I'm gonna cut right through that corner so we're not cutting a whole bunch extra off. And a little Sharpie, make a line through it. We'll double and triple check this before we actually do any cutting. We're just gonna square off this stringer just to test run our little contraption.
These are much longer than we need them to be, so we've got extra.
And with the exception of me going like this, it looks pretty good.
Oh, that's funny. It didn't even break at the...
It broke in a different place. It didn't break where it was glued.
So we have this angle to cut, and we have this angle to cut, which is kind of kicks down at the bottom. So we have a couple of exciting angles to make sure our stringers fit in here really nicely.
That's right. And we'll get our angle finder and find this angle, the one going up.
Then we'll get to cutting.
Yep.
Okay, y'all, this is awesome. Aaron's got marks on the Kusa board on our stringers, and he's got his angle on his saw blade, chainsaw looking thing, and this is about to happen. Okay, we moved our whole cutting situation outside because, man, it creates a lot of dust. It's nasty, so we're outside and he's about to hit the trigger on this thing.
Yep.
Good job, babe.
Thank you. Now we'll cut the end. We'll go get our angle off that, cut it, and then we'll go set it in and see if it's even close to fitting.
Everybody's going to be telling you that you should be having gloves on, mister.
Yep. Oh no, stringer. Completed. So toss her in.
Dude, that cut looks pretty.
It's tweaked. We'll take a little bit more off of it, but the angles are right. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's down lower on that side, right?
Not really. It's about the same gap.
I think it's longer over here than it is over there, but I don't know.
Down here?
Because we've got a little gap up here.
Oh yeah, I mean I thought you were talking about the contour of the boat. I was looking at my angles.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And
I
my
was looking
angles
at
are-
your angles too.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. So nice and flush. It doesn't even need to be that good.
No. Back to the chopping block. There we go. Yep. I'm gonna mark on this side where we need to clean it up. Once I get that cleaned up and this sits level, we're gonna be in good shape.
Okay, he is happy with his first stringer, so it is time to cut the second one. Awesome. Dude, nice work.
Well, thank you. Cool. So the next thing to do is, I made these stringers wider. So we gotta clean all this up. We're gonna leave this little bottom ledge on here, just clean in there really good, because we need something to catch that stringer so we can put down pressure on it and it doesn't try to slide that way. So we'll clean it up, but we'll leave just a little bit of a ledge there, but this top one's going completely away. I need that all the way down to the original mat right there. So we got it marked with our Sharpie and we'll just start cleaning stuff out.
Alrighty, now that our stringers are set in there, I'm going to put my gloves on and start cleaning in there. We put this cover on earlier because we were like, man, it's actually pretty cold today in Texas. The pipes underneath our hilarious little house are frozen and icicles. It's 20 something out here. I'm gonna go try to get started here. See the water that's underneath Aaron's feet there? That is a nice cube of water.
There's about to be a heater in here.
Ooh.
Just taped up the gas tank.
Oh,
so
good
the heater
plan.
doesn't blow us up.
Good plan.
Yeah.
So I've been in here cleaning. I'm getting a lot of the leaves out and stuff, but it's looking pretty good. That heater is pretty good. But on the battery side of the engine bay here, I just found some more rot. I was using this little scraper just to kind of get the built up dirt off because it was so thick, and then I just like started catching on this like thin layer of fiberglass that's down here, and it's just like really ugh. And then this is soft plywood, so that's not lovely. So I kind of feel like we're gonna need to address that. That's one battery, and that's where the other battery was. So when Aaron comes back out here, we'll show it to him. I'm going to go ahead and remove that other battery so that I can clean underneath it and we can see what kind of situation we have with the wood, because we'll probably need to replace that whole piece of wood. I've already disconnected the terminals. Once I get this little strap off, it should just be pick up and remove the battery box. Kind of sounds solid. Hi. It's coming in hot. Oh, we have beef sticks and cheese. Thanks, bud. Okay, so I pulled a battery.
Saw that, I just threw it on the ground.
Yeah, I saw that too. there's, oh, the battery came out of the battery box. Very nice. The reason I pulled the battery is because where this other battery was, I found more rot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I was getting bored.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was scraping with this to get like the buildup of junk off.
Yep.
And then this stuff just started like coming up. And I was like, great. Look at it.
I wonder what the weather's like in Galveston. They've got Coosa board down there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just drag this dang thing down there.
It's not a big deal.
No.
It's just a lot of work.
We just got to cut this out and
Yeah.
put a new piece of plywood there.
Yep.
Yeah. What's a little more fiberglass work?
No big deal.
Make it right.
Yep. We're hoping that's not the bottom of the boat.
Oh my goodness.
So the hole is right there. So this is a shelf that's been built to hold accessories. Used to be a hot water heater here. There will be another one. So this is nothing. It doesn't do anything. So
It's not structural.
it appears to me that the hole continues up. That's going to be our seam. Where that's the actual hole. This is going to be
That is
a piece of
super
plywood.
duper thin plywood that they used.
Yeah, because it's not structural. They're just
Right.
trying to build a shelf to bolt stuff to. So we should be able to zippy doodle, and this whole shelf will come out. Then we just build a new one and glass it in. We have to make a decision because either we use Coosa or we use conventional plywood. I have no way to get marine grade plywood here locally, and I definitely don't have a way to get Coosa board locally. So if we make the choice to use Coosa, we have to drive to Houston, which is 3.5 hours if everything goes smoothly. Definitely not happening this week because there's an ice storm blowing into Texas right now. That postpone us another week. Are we okay with just putting normal plywood here because it's not structural and it is literally just a shelf to be able to bolt things in the engine bay and not have them at a tilt? I think it would be fine. I also think if we did it in Coosa and we ran some stringers this way, it would add a lot of strength to back this boat. Does it need it? I don't think so. I really don't see any point in having a bunch of extra structure back here, but what do I know? I'm a diesel mechanic, not a boat mechanic. I've done everything I can do today. We only had one DeWalt battery, a small one, and so I was only able to get one of those stringers cleaned up completely, and I'm not able to cut that new place out that we found. So back at our house, we've got some of the big DeWalt batteries. We're gonna bring those tomorrow. Emily's been cleaning up over here.
Looks really good.
Yep, and we're gonna get a few things we need at the store because it's gonna continue to freeze more tonight. And then we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. And with new batteries, we'll get this cleaned up. Hopefully get that side patched over there and start glassing some stuff in if we can keep it warm enough in here.
Yeah.
Excuse my weird speech, my lips are freezing up.
It's cold. See y'all tomorrow. We are back in the boat and Aaron has his mask on already. He's about to start cutting fiberglass and I'm gonna put a mask on too, of course. We had a quick trip to Lowe's this morning to get plywood for our little rotted area back there, and he's getting this all sorted.
Yep.
And things are frozen in here. I think that this is funny. There's a paper towel over here that I was cleaning with and it's frozen solid. So loud. We have a little heater going in here now and gonna get some stuff done. I tried to pick my gloves up and they're a block as well.
I got done cutting out the main portion here. and I had to go give my mother a phone call, see how she was doing. And so Emily cleaned our floor up. It looks super nice, no more dust in here until I fire up this grinder. Our Cusa board, when I laminated 3 pieces together, ended up being 4.5 inches wide. This is only about maybe 3 inches wide. So I've got to taper this back, get down to the main part of the hole, so that stringer's got something flat to sit on. This ledge here, I think I mentioned it in the past, I'm gonna leave that there because the stringers are built at an angle. I want something to be able to keep it from sliding down when I put pressure on it. So we'll put a bunch of junk down in there, a bunch of goop here, resin. When I say goop, I mean resin, and then glue that thing down in place. But for now, next step is get this cut back enough where those are gonna sit down flat against the bottom of the boat. So it's gonna be a dusty mess. Probably not a lot to film, but we'll get what we can.
Audiobook. Good stuff. Welcome. Bigger
Just gonna
hammer.
Hammer. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. It's a new day. We ran out of batteries yesterday and it was getting toward the end of the day anyway, so we just said, we'll let them charge, come back. So what I'm gonna do is, we've got this kind of broken out. I can see where the structure is. So I'm gonna use this saw to go in there and cut it really nicely so I can start fitting a new piece in there. That's all I know. I had something wise to say, but I didn't. That's it. I'm just gonna get to work.
That's wise in itself.
Yep, surprisingly this board was not rotted except for this one little section over here where that battery was sitting. So we'll be able to clean this up good, get a new piece in here, and then continue progress. That's what it's all about.
Alrighty, we are out with our stringers and we have the old stringers laid on top of them because we're gonna trace out the provision for where the engine mounts so that we can get these new ones cut down to be the same size as the ones we pulled out. So Aaron is making marks to make our pad for the engine mount a little bigger so that we have some wiggle room.
Yeah, I want this a little bit bigger. I don't know if we're gonna run into an issue with an accessory drive up here. I know the oil pan back here is an issue, but I also know it's right at the back of the block. So I'm just using the length of my little speedy square. Made a mark, moved it over, made another mark. That gives me that much more distance on the top of the pad. So we'll just roll with that. If you look right here, see this is where the fiberglass was. That's where it turned and came back this way. So I'm just using my speedy square to kind of say, yeah, that's about the baseline there. So that'll be our stringer. Think that'll work.
That is a lot bigger pad than factory. Hopefully that has clearance for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of played it off like I haven't measured. but I've measured extensively. It was just kind of inconclusive because the engine's not built. I was speculating on a few things, but I wouldn't have left the pad that big if I didn't know pretty sure it's going to work. So that's going to be our port side. I wanted to say something to you guys. If you suggested that I use a beam saw to cut these, send us a message. We'll get in contact with you and we'll send you a free t-shirt, because it was a game changer. It made our life so much easier. Similar. I made this one a little bit fatter, it looks like. It doesn't matter, the engine mounts bolt to the mounts that go on this are adjustable. So it's basically a piece of metal that goes down and there's a stud that comes up and you run it up and down with 2 nuts and washers. 4.5 there. Oh, we're not far off. If this built up resin wasn't on there, I can see we're at 4.5 exactly. So turned out perfect.
Starboard side, and I cut some of that resin off. Hi. Right here. This gel coat powder is slippery.
Yes, it is. Good to me.
Looks really nice. Wish I could reach you guys. Can you reach them? They're right there. Yeah, check it out, y'all. It looks nice in here.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take some fiberglass down here a little bit. Make them sit more even, like that. There's a lot of junk on the floor, so it's really hard to get an idea of what's straight. But that's pretty legit.
Do you want me to hand you?
Yeah, let's see if that
Okay.
will fit.
Upside down.
I expect this to need some
Trimming. Yeah, would make sense if it did.
That's it. Yep.
Just a little fine tuning.
Cool. So let's cut that piece now. That piece of plywood.
Let's do it.
So I finally got it all cleaned up. While I'm doing that, do you want to clean our mess up?
Vacuum, yes. I think that would be really good. Alrighty, I have just finished vacuuming this thing out and it looks pretty tidy, and Aaron just got his piece of wood cut for the battery shelf, so let's watch him install it. And of course by install I mean test fit it, because we got a lot of glass work to do to actually install it. Alright, he is happy with his fitment.
That's right. When we install this, we'll glass the bottom of it, glass the top of it, glass it all in. It will be perfection and just fine, and it will outlive me. So that's going to be plenty enough to hold that tank in. We've got our repair areas here. So we'll end up cutting a window out of this so we can see. This stuff's extremely hard, and the previous piece of plywood wasn't even really holding the tank in. They had a single layer of mat just kind of tacked in place. It wasn't really doing much. So no matter how we spin it, this is going to be a lot better than what was in there before. But that's what we're looking like. That's cut, stringers are cut, this is cut, and I'm very happy with it all.
Well, y'all, that's going to be a wrap for this episode.
Absolutely. The transom's in. You guys saw that on another episode. Now the stringers are in. They're not glassed in yet. That header for the fuel tank, bulkhead, whatever you want to call it's in. Repaired the battery tray. So things are looking really good. We've got 2 days coming up that are going to be very, very cold. We can't work on the boat. I was watching Fish Bump TV and he was talking about how important it is to have the temperatures right. So if you want to actually learn what you're doing with fiberglass, go watch him. That's what I do. Also, he alluded to some different products that I don't have. And so because we're at this important part, we have made an order with Fiberglass Warehouse. That's who he suggests and who he uses. So they're sending us all kinds of really cool stuff so that next week when we get out here, when the temperatures are back up in the 50s, 60s, we can throw a heater in here, get all the proper material down, get it all looking really nice, get it tied in. And that's going to be a huge step. Then we're on to actually building the Duramax, get it set in here. We're going to have to rig up a crane system, all that stuff. You know, we have a lot to do, but we're excited. This process went really good, and we're looking forward to getting this done and moving on to the next episode.
It's going to be awesome, and we are so grateful for each of you watching and commenting and liking, and absolutely subscribe if you haven't already, because that makes a big difference for us. Last year we hit 300,000 subs, and that was a huge compliment. We've been at this for 10 years now. March of 2015 is when we started the channel, so it's pretty awesome to see milestones like that, and we just appreciate each and every one of y'all.
We're thinking about making shirts for the boat. So what do you want to see on it? I was just telling Emily earlier, maybe like some big diesel stacks coming out of the back of it, like a cartoon picture of the boat. Just let us know. Go look at our other merch. If you want to, go buy some. We'd appreciate it. It helps support the cause that is this job we do.
Making these videos.
We're just trying to teach you guys that you can do it. You don't have to pay somebody. You can get out there and do it. Have fun. Bond as a couple. And just enjoy the process.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all on the next episode.